Okay, so EB3 is that some of you need to know how to calculate the percentage gain or loss for osmosis experiments. Now, some of you may remember just before lockdown, we did osmosis experiments, the practical with the potato, and we were measuring the mass when it was put into concentrated solutions of sugar or salt. And this is what the question is basically asking us. It's asking us to find percentage gain or loss in mass of the potato that was used in this beaker. So I want you to pause the video right now and read the question, and then press play once you have read the question. Okay, so welcome back. I'm going to show you again the responses that I've got for this question and show you the correct answer. And then later on, I will show you how to work out the percentage gain or loss. So here are the responses. And you can see again, there is a variety of different answers. And these are all, unfortunately, are incorrect. The correct answer is, in fact, this. And this is a very good model answer because they showed a very clear working out, and they managed to arrive to the correct answer, which is 29.8% decrease in mass. Right, so in order to work out a percentage change in mass, you need to use this equation. So you can see that it says the end mass, take away the start mass, and this should be in brackets because you want to work this out first before you divide it by the start mass, and then times it by 100. So the equation itself looks quite complicated at the moment, but once you apply it to a question and you start practicing it, it's very simple. So let's have a look at an example. A piece of potato has a mass of 2.5 grams at the start and then 3.0 grams at the end. What is the change in mass? So I'm going to show you how to work it out again. And again, I'm going to use this system called Q's just to guide me. So C is to collect the data. So what I have is the start mass. So the start mass is going to be 2.5 grams. The end mass is going to be 3.0 grams, and I've collected my data. Am I happy with my units? Yes, I'm happy with my units. I do not need to change my units because the question is not asking that, so I'm happy with my units. And then next is to write the equation down. So percentage change in mass, so I'm just going to write percentage here in mass is equal to end mass minus start mass. Put this in brackets because you want to do this first, then divide it by the start mass, and then times it by 100. So now I'm happy to substitute. So the end mass is going to be 3.0 minus 2.5. Divide that by the start mass, which is going to be 2.5 times 100. So it's always best in your calculator to work out the brackets first because of bid mass. So that's going to be 0.5 divided by 2.5 and then times that by 100. So again, 0.5 divided by 2.5 first. Do that one first. So that's going to be 0.2 times 100, and that's going to be 20. So the change in mass, the percentage change in mass, is equals to 20%. And that is going to be an increase. And the reason why it is a positive 20% increase is because at the end it increased by 0.5 grams. Example. So this is another example, and it is laid out in a table, and this is what you would normally would see in an exam. So you can see on the left side, you can see concentration of salt. Then you have the mass at the start. Then you have the mass at the final, at the end, and then you have a change in mass and percentage change in mass. So the question is telling us that a piece of carrot has a mass of 3.5 grams at the start and 4.2 grams at the end. So we need to calculate the percentage change in mass. Right, so a change in mass, which is this over here, is essentially this part of the equation. So the top part of the equation is the change in mass. So this is very helpful because it starts it out for you, and it'll be helpful for calculating the percentage change in mass at the end. So in order to work out the change in mass, we need to find the final mass, the end mass, which is 4.2, minus the start mass, which is 3.5. And the answer should be 0.7. So the change in mass is 0.7. Now, in order to find out the percentage change in mass, we need to complete that equation. So we've already worked out the change in mass, so we've done this part here. Now we need to divide it by the starting mass, which is 0.7, divided by the starting mass, which is 3.5, and then we times this by 100. So the answer is going to be 0.2, and times that by 100 is going to be 20% again, and that's going to be 20%, and that's going to be an increase because the final mass increased to 4.2 grams. And that's how you work out the percentage change in mass when it comes to these osmosis experiments. So the first thing you need to do, you need to find out the starting mass, the final mass, work out the change in mass, which is this one here, the brackets. Then you divide it by the starting mass, and then you times it by 100 because you want to work it out as a percentage. That's why you times it by 100.